everyone. So the news we're talking about today is Resident Evil Revelations, the game coming out next year for the Nintendo 3DS. It has just been announced that it's going to cost $50 for a portable game.
Yeah.
And that's $50 without the Circle Pad Pro. That's going to cost an extra $10. So $60 for a portable game.
Well, I know that you can get the Circle Pad separate right now. Do you know how much that's costing?
$10.
Oh, just by itself is $10.
$10.
All right, well.
The funny thing is, Capcom says it's worth $50. Hey, the credits were, and that's the show, everybody. No, Capcom says it's worth it.
Because they said it's the extra price is because it's on a 4 gig card, which is more than the usual 3DS card.
Okay, well, how much is like a standard like memory card? Do you think it actually needs to bump up that high just for the memory card itself?
Probably not.
I don't think so. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I've enjoyed the series all the way up to Resident Evil 5. But I haven't picked up a 3DS. I did want to get it just for the Resident Evil game coming out, but with this kind of price, it's going to make me deter a little bit. I'm going to want to see like what they can bring to the portable field. We've seen Resident Evil games on portable systems before, and it just didn't work out. So to start off with a big title like this at a higher price, I'm wondering if it's actually going to be worth all the effort.
The issue, I think, the big issue is, I mean, it's the gaming industry being detached from the gamers. There's a reason why streets are being occupied right now, and that's because people are broke. Like, seriously, there's a reason why there's a reason why there's an Occupy movement going on right now. It's because people are broke, and to come out with a portable game for $50, when you can get a game on PlayStation or a game on Xbox 360, which have huge amounts of disk space and high quality and replay value. And then you look at Resident Evil, and they're like, $50, portable game. It's worth it. No, it's not worth it in the eyes of the consumer. Well, and I feel like that's the issue.
With game prices as like where they're at now, like it's not just a $60 game anymore. Now it's like $60 plus the $10 of DLC that comes out immediately with it. Is it more that you're not actually paying for the product, but you're paying for the experience? And in that case, will this Resident Evil game be worth the experience that it brings to the table?
I don't think any price will make a portable game a worthy to a console experience. Like it just doesn't translate that well.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just gonna come out just from the manufacturer point of view. I mean, there's times you'll have a certain MSRP in mind, but I mean, cost of goods or anything like that. In which this case, they are saying it's the cartridge that's going to be a 4 gigabyte one. Yeah, you know, that might be, sadly, just this case that they have this game planned out, and that's the size the cartridge is going to take. You know, they can't ship necessarily on 2 cartridges like you could on discs.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
And that's just one of the flaws of cartridge-based media. You look at the N64
or the Nintendo, the original Nintendo games were $90.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's just what might be happening. I think maybe Capcom didn't plan their data as well. They might be compressing as much as they can. Maybe they didn't plan for this. But you know, I don't think Capcom's trying necessarily to screw over the consumer. I think really, and having been where it's like, oh, we want to hit this price point and we try really hard.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, if we want to hit this price point, we need to use a smaller card or degrade textures. If they truly are trying to build a great experience and it's requiring that space, then maybe there will be a subset of 3DS games that require that medium. But going into our discussion we'll talk about later is that big titles like that you might not be able to put on cartridges. Maybe they're better for download or some sort of other format for portable.
Could this actually maybe be like the start of something new? Like eventually, hey, next gen consoles of yesterday used to be like $40 a game. Then when things started. What? But then, the consumer wanted more, and so they gave them a better game experience, and they bumped up the price to $60. Could this be the start of portable gaming being more of an experience, and you'll see more games being at a higher price?
This has become a whole different debate. That's what my concern is. You think about when you're at home, you're playing these games on these consoles, and you have your TV, and you have your surround sound, and it's an in-depth experience. When you're on the bus and there's a crazy bitch sitting next to you, not saying you're a crazy bitch, there's a crazy person, or there's people on a bus and they smell like rancid ass cheese. I fat to rancid ass chease.
You just pointed at me for rancid ass cheese.
It's a difficult thing to get into, and that's where it becomes a very difficult thing. What does the chat think about the $50 price tag?
Cliff Anderson says they announced that Resident Evil going to be horror bad. Sunfire says it's not worth it. Real Men Wear Kilts says $50 ain't worth fuck that. Veg says I'd rather pay 2 bums to fight over a $5 footlong than spend that $50 on a portable game.
Wow.
That's entertainment.
Yes.
Jason MB says, okay, are we really surprised that $50 was coming? Pokemon is generally 25 to 30. Older ones cost more than that, and a major franchise like Resident Evil, this is not surprising.
Yeah, but you gotta catch them all with the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Personally,
so-
I think that it will be worth the $50. Just it's I think a step that people aren't ready to make yet. But the game will be worth $50. So
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous when right now the biggest problem facing portable gaming is the microtransaction. So to come out and raise prices is definitely, I mean, people are used to 99-cent games right now.
Yeah.
Now they're
Oh,
not,
yeah.
and now granted, you compare them, it's going to be apples and oranges. You know, if apples and oranges were both mutated into different creatures even further.
By the way, new company coming out, Oranges, to compete with Apple. Stay tuned.
yes, someone else got a boo joke.